Perfect, mate.
Right, guys, we are back for another Celtic prediction video. Today we've got another guest on the show, and it's Hamish from 67 Hail Hail. How you doing, Hamish? All right?
I'm good, mate. Thanks for having us on.
No, listen, thanks for being on. So we're going to be talking about the game on Sunday, and of course it's a massive game. Doesn't determine anything this season as much, but of course it can lead on to other things for this season, mentality-wise. So what's your thought process going into the game on Sunday?
I've been kind of swinging for thinking it's a big game to not a big game, and now I'm back thinking it is a big game. If you asked me a couple of weeks ago, I was very much of the opinion that I didn't care about it because there was so much happening at the club and the whole focus is in 10 in a row. But if you ask me now, a chance to win another trophy, to win another treble, which folk don't really kind of talk about because it's last season's. But to win 4 trebles in a row would be amazing, and to win it in any final would be amazing. But see, if you were picking teams, obviously Rangers would be number 1, but number 2 would probably be beating Hearts in terms of kind of teams we'd love to beat at Hampden. So I'm looking forward to it.
I can't wait myself, man. I know what you mean by it though, because at the end of the day, I know it's last season's trophy, and of course the main focus this year is the league. But I think because of the way we've started this year, I think this cup, winning it, can change the mentality of the players. It'll make them remember, oh my God, we can win trophies. We do need to be at the top. Do you know what I mean? Right now, they're just in a bit of a turmoil situation. I don't really know how to elaborate on it, to be fair, because
me neither.
It's a hard one to really discuss, man. Whether it's Neil Lennon's fault, whether it's the players, whether it's both, whether it's the boards, we don't really know. End of the day, it needs fixed. Do you know what I mean? So, but no, I think getting into the game, obviously Hearts right now are sitting top of the championship. They're sitting 4 points clear roughly or something, I think, at the top. So they're having a good season, and the next point I'm going to make is we're coming up against a goalkeeper that I think personally we should have offered a contract for. We shouldn't have let go, and Craig Gordon. Do you know what I mean? So,
but do you think that's the case, or do you think that you know how like time does that thing? And like the best Celtic player at the moment is James Forrest, because he hasn't played for months, and folk are going, oh, he's amazing. Do you think time's done that thing? Do you think time's done that thing to Craig Gordon, where folk are now forgetting all the mistakes he made?
I know he made mistakes, but I think in front of goal, it was a fantastic shot stop. Like, he pulled off some miraculous saves, man. And I think I know he made a lot of mistakes, right? But I think it's Barkas that's actually woken us up. I think Barkas don't get me wrong, I know people were saying give Barkas a chance. I think he's had plenty of chances, and the team, he's just not shown any promise to me, to be honest with you. Do you know what I mean? So that's what's woken me up to it. And of course you've got not just Craig Gordon, you've got like Stephen A. Smith in that team, who, although he's getting older, he's obviously an experienced striker who's played in so much cup finals. Do you know what I mean? So you've got players like that coming up against our defence, who have been the most shaky I've seen them in years.
I mean, they've got good players going forward, Hearts. They've got Naismith, they've got Boyce, who's a Northern Ireland international. So that they've got other players in the team. I went through their team for a video, I think, last week, and like their team, the amount of internationals in their team, like Christoph Berra, Craig Gordon. Even players that haven't been capped, like Andy Halliday, is like a decent enough player, as much as
Andy Halliday
won't admit that.
Would be up for it, do you know what I mean? So
there's another one as well, Halkett. He's a really good centre back. The boy that was at Livy for a few years, so they're a good squad there. So as much as they're a championship team, I think it's the toughest game we've had since probably Easter Road. And when you look at some of the games we've failed in, St Johnstone at home, Ross County at home, even Killie last week, as much as we won, I think. Up until about 55 minutes, it was tight. So it's anyone expecting us to win like 3-0, 4-0 against a Diddy Championship team, it's not happening. It's going to be tight. I think the one thing I will say, I was looking at a recent record against Hearts today, and we've won 9 out of our last 10 games. With the only one being, I don't know if you remember, the one they beat is 1-0 under Rodgers at Tynecastle, kind of early on in the season. I think Lafferty scored. So our record's really good against Hearts, but there's been a lot of late goals in there, and I genuinely wouldn't be surprised to see like a late winner on Sunday at Hampden.
So what's your score prediction going into it?
It's good. I've not even thought about that yet. Pressure on.
There you go. Just first one that comes to your head.
The first one that's probably the most obvious because it's been the scoreline so often against Hearts over the years. Recently, is 2-1. Like the amount of 2-1s, and a lot of the time they score the first goal as well, which is kind of concerning. I honestly wouldn't be surprised to see us go behind. And the one thing I will say now is that if we go behind, I've got less confidence in the team to come back. Whereas in the past, like even when we went behind in that final against them, like a couple of years ago, even though it's the last Scottish Cup final, I always had faith we would come back. But like if we go behind on Sunday, I'm not so sure. So I think we will probably score first. They'll maybe equalise. And then, as I say, I wouldn't be surprised to see a kind of late-ish goal, like 80-85, something like that. What do you think?
I don't know, to be honest with you. It depends, right? I'm in two minds. I think 2-1. I still think we'll win either way, right? But I think it'll be like a very close game. And this is going to sound so bad if he starts Scott Brown over Sorrow.
Right, so you think it'll be close if Scott Brown starts?
If Scott Brown starts, I think it'll be a close game. And that's because I think that the way we're going right now with Sorrow and Turnbull, it's creating more of a quick central midfield belt, if that makes sense. So we're kind of showing different sides to our team, or not being obvious. I think Scott Brown brings so much to the team, but I think because of the position that he plays in, it makes us leave out certain players that could make more of an impact going forward. So it takes more percentage going to attack to more percentage in defence, if that makes any sense.
I agree.
So I think we'll win. But I think that if Scott Brown starts, it'll benefit us to an extent. It'll defend us more against them, but it won't make us that prolific look that we've had at times in the last couple of games. So as long as Turnbull starts, I'd be quite happy.
I think Turnbull will start. I'm pretty confident about that. I agree. I can't put my finger on why I'm so confident Turnbull will start, but I'm not confident Sorrell will start, because you'd think both of them are quite similar in terms of they've come into the team. That's probably it. Well, if Scott Brown was an attacking mid, David Turnbull probably wouldn't start. So
that's it. I know, that's it. So I'm going to say, if Jinx Scott Brown will start.
I think he will, yeah.
If that's the case, I'm going to say 3-1.
Right, Scott Brown hat-trick.
Scott Brown hat-tricky mistakes. No, 3-1, and hopefully Edouard picks up his game, because he's been quite, I don't know if it's laziness or morale or whatever it is. He's just not been on his game, do you know what I mean? And that's down to the players as well. Do you know what I mean? Not giving them that extra support, not giving them enough up top, not giving them support by putting him and Griffiths up top together enough. Do you know what I mean?
Agree. I actually do agree. Folk talk about Edouard as being like this stroppy player, and like they forget that even when Edouard's is playing his best football, like he looks maybe not stroppy, but he looks lazy sometimes just because he plays the game that way. He's not a guy who's ever going to charge around after defenders. He's going to be like a maverick almost. But see the way you get him happy, like just look at January, how we got him happy, and you're spot on. Like we had Lee Griffiths in and around him, the wee 1-2, stepping over the ball, getting it back, playing each other off, and that's when Edouard was at his best. But at the moment, there's been wee signs of it with Turnbull, and El Yunusi does it the odd time. But other than that, like there's no link-up play, and Edouard's he's just not involved in the game. And I think that's when you start to really see him like looking even more uninterested. Because folk talk about Edouard like the way you keep him happy by staying in Europe and all of this kind of stuff, or getting sack and Lennon, get a better manager in, and that may be true, but for me, you keep him happy by just on the pitch, get players around him, get players playing off him, get him involved in their passing play, because that's when he's at his best. Aye,
definitely. That's definitely true, man. I totally agree with you with that. So you're going, is it 2-1 you said? 2-1. I'm going 3-1. I can't really see us losing, personally, but it will be...
Famous last words. Famous last words.
I know. I said that against Ross County as well. I really couldn't see that. That was a massive shock to the system, man. I think that kind of woke us up a wee bit, to be honest with you. I know we should have been woken up months ago, but I think it was like the last nail in the coffin to say, right, come on, we can't step down to that. Do you know what I mean? So, but no, thanks for coming on. Thanks for having you on, mate. This was just obviously a wee prediction video, and I'll get other videos organised in the coming weeks for you. I'll try and get that Celtic team one done me as well, because that'll be
What's that again?
That's best Celtic 11 since 2000.
Oh, Christ, I only really started going to games in 05, so
we'll do a wee bit of research into that. And we'll get that sorted.
That sounds fun.
Pretty quite good, man. I'll keep up to date with it. Guys, if you haven't checked out Hamish's channel, 67 Hail, be sure to go and check it out. And if you're new to this channel also, make sure you hit subscribe and hit the like button as well. And thanks for coming on again, Hamish, right?
Appreciate it.
Thanks, mate, and I'll keep in touch with you.